Good day, traders. How is our day? We are going to be starting our weekly outlook, and we're not going to waste most of our time today. We're going to start from DXY. Of course, I suggest you go to forexfactory.com to check some fundamental new release that will be coming out this week. There are a lot of them. Most importantly, you have to check CPI from Canada. Okay, for CAD, CPI will be released. Monetary policy rate will also come out from Australia. Okay, just take note of those of major currency. Also know that there will be some news released from Great Britain this week. CPI for GBP will be released this week, Wednesday. It was postponed because of the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This particular one, I want to look for it. Yeah, official bank rate for GBP. This will be released this week. Okay, so take note of that. These are news that are very volatile. Make sure you insulate your trades against the volatility of the market. Of course, you know me very well. I don't trade the news. I allow the news to pass and create a setup for me to take. All right. So there's no point trading the news when you know that the news is going to provide you an adequate setup in the chart for you to take. All right. So you can take a clue from me. There's no point messing around with your capital. Okay. So just look at each of these news. And if you don't know how to interpret them, I encourage you to join my mentorship program where I have a special course on macroeconomics analysis, where I break down all the technical jargons in economics into a well-understandable format that will enable you as a layman who has not studied economy before to understand and be able to release economic parameters. You know, when the news are being released, what is the interpretation of the news? What is the implication of the news to the forex market, to the stock market, to the bond market, to the commodity market, even to you yourself as a businessman? What is the implications of those news? Where I'll be explaining all those things in detail: inflation rate, the CPI news release, the GDP news release, the housing news release, the interest rate, and all those stuffs. Okay, so do well by checking all this. So let's go straight to the chart, guys. We have a lot to do. The chart, we may not be doing top-down analysis today, but we'll be looking at the chart from this perspective of 4 hours time frame. And from there, you can, if you want to break it down to a smaller time frame for your entry, you can do. So we're going to start from DXY, from higher time frame. DXY is still very bullish, very bullish. But of course, at this point now, we have this ending structure. Okay, at this point, we have ending structure. Okay, here you have ending structure with a divergence, and there we knew that we are going to encounter some pullback. And here is a complete structure. It's a complete structure for more upside. Now you have the move to the upside. What we have to wait for now is a pullback. You know, pullback. If you take this fib here, you want a pullback to this level. So at that point, I expect you to look for buy opportunity to the upside for DXY. And if you want to know how to approach it when the market gets to this level on 4 hours time frame, all you just have to do is to take the chart down to 15 minutes time frame and see the transition of this chart from bearish to bullish. The market has been coming bearish. Okay, you have to look at the push that shows, you know, the buy pressure. Look for correction, and this is your entry right here. Okay, so that's how you do this. It's how you do it. something like this, guys, something like this. It's exactly how you approach it. Okay, so DXY correction downward as early as Monday, Tuesday. From Wednesday, we should have this move to the upside. Okay, 2 4 hours. AUDUSD is still bearish. Okay, right now you have this massive sell-off reaction to the downside. Okay, right here you have this massive sell-off to the downside. So all we have to wait for is to wait for corrective structure. Okay, we need to wait for corrective structure to 50 to 61.8. Okay, 50 to 61.8. That's where we can take our entry. If it doesn't get to 50 to 61.8, we have no sell setup, because that is where supply is. Okay, if you look at this imbalance candle right here, between here and this level, that is your supply level, guys. This is your supply zone. This is not your supply zone. This is your supply zone. Because between this level and this level, there were buyers. There were buyers. Look at the buyer here. There were buyers. Okay. So between this level and this level, there were buyers. But between this level and this level, there was no buyer in the market. It was all sellers. That is why we call this place a supply zone. Okay, that's why we call it a supply zone. There was excess supply over demand. That was why the market was crashing down at this level. We love this to go to tap that level from where we can look for sell opportunity to the downside for AUD/USD, guys. NZDUSD, of course, you know, they are brothers. Okay, we want the same thing to happen. We have our massive move to the downside. We want a correction back to this level from where we can sell. Then for those who are scalpers, who want to scalp the market, they want to scalp the upside, they can from this level begins to look for buy opportunity to the right fib level, right fib retracement level here. Okay, they can do that. And of course, I don't do such small trade. Okay, how should they approach it? They can approach it from the perspective of a lower time frame. Okay, they can approach it by looking at, you know, change of character of this particular structure. Of course, you see that the pair is bearish. You need to wait to see it go bullish. You see it, then the correction will take you to this level. Okay, and in that case, this will be your intraday trade setup. You know, very small intraday setup to terminate here. Okay, from here, you should be looking for opportunity to the downside. Okay, back to 4 hours, euro dollar. Of course, you know that in DXY, we're looking for correction downside in order to buy. And then euro dollar is going to do the opposite. And of course, you know that anytime you are in a downtrend and you are having a corrective structure that is giving you consolidation and break up to the upside this way, the next thing you will see is a bearish formation to the downside. Why? Because this consolidation breakout from fair level here has just got liquidity at the top here, and it has to flush down. Do I have a proof for that? Do I have a sample that I can show you? Yes, I do. You see it right here. After this sell-off to the downside, this way, you have a correction back to 50 to 61.8. But how did it get there? You see, I'll show you how it got there. You see the first leg. After that, you see corrective structure. What do you see here next? You see a boom to the upside. This move, massive move to the upside, has made many people to probably lose their account. Why? They are saying that this is a powerful move. This is a bullish rally to the upside, and many of them have bought. But they don't know that this market is just taking liquidity at what? At where? At the supply zone. Look at the imbalance candle here, guys. It's taking liquidity from there, and the next thing you see is downside. The same thing is repeating itself here, guys. If you look at this particular move to the downside, you see that right here is the 61.8. Okay, right here is the 61.8. Okay, right here is the 61.8. And what did the market do? What did it do? You see the corrective structure here. Okay, you see the level here. Did it break it? No, it did not break it. What does it tell you, guys? It tells you that there are a lot of liquidity below this equal level, meaning the market is still coming to break this level. Okay, so now on getting there, you know, with a powerful move to the upside, this has caught the liquidity at the right fib level. Okay, at supply. And what did the pair do next? Boom, to the downside. So this is a reaction. So all we need to do now, guys, is to take a fib of this impulsive leg to the downside, and mark 50 to 61.8. We want this market to get here, you know, to tap this level. As soon as you can have this, tap this level. This is our 5061.8. From here, it will sell to the downside. Stop loss above here. Then if you want a tighter entry, if it gets to this level on 4 hours time frame, you can come down to 15 minutes time frame and check what we call change of character. You know, change of character is just change from a bullish structure to bearish structure, where you see the trend will be coming up, and all at a sudden you see a move that break internal structure right here. Take the correction right here. After that, take your sell here. The essence of coming down to 15 minutes time frame is to have a tighter entry, a tighter stop loss rather. In this case, instead of putting your stop loss, if you enter on 4 hours, your stop loss was supposed to be here. But if you wait for internal structure break, okay, your stop loss is going to be here, and yet your entry will be here, meaning that you are going to achieve a better risk to reward in your trade. That's the essence of coming down to 15 minutes time frame to refine your entry. Okay, EURGBP. All right, EURGBP from higher time frame perspective is still very bullish. We're trying to sort it without paying respect to higher time frame. I wanted to sort it at this level. That was a wrong decision. It was a wrong decision, because higher time frame shows that EURGBP is still very bullish. Okay, and if that is the case, of course, you see this level. Okay, it came right to the fib level, 50 to 61.8. And then if you want to refine your entry here, you can come to 15 minutes, guys. You will see what we mean by change of character. You see it right here. You see the market bearish formation. What happened here, guys? This structure is taken, internal structure is broken. Then correction. This is your trade, guys, to the upside. If you miss it here, you don't miss it here. It gives you a powerful engulfing candlestick pattern here to show you that correction is over and he's on the way to the upside. Okay, so you have your entry here. If you miss it, this is another one. Don't miss this. All right, so but I was waiting. I have this set up for the buy. Okay, but I was waiting for the sell, because I felt that if you have this corrective structure here, this is a complex B correction, then I was expecting that because of how hard this sell-off came, I was expecting that this will be a corrective structure, and this will be W, sorry, not W here. Okay, I was expecting that this will be W, this will be X, and I was expecting Y to come down right here. Okay, I was expecting Y to come down right here before we resume upside, so that all this move, all this correction that comes down will be a retracement of this impulsive leg to the downside. But of course, the market did another thing. You know, this correction was over right here, and then this was the start of the move to the upside. But that one is over now. What should we expect this week, guys? What should we expect? Well, since the market, the pair is still very bullish on higher time frame, all you just have to do is to wait for this market to give you correction back to this level. Let it give you correction back to this level. okay, and here you can look for buy opportunity to the upside. That's EURGBP, guys. GBP USD, okay, GBP USD. Of course, you see that the corrective structure for this move is done here, okay, and after that, why do we say it's done here, guys? Because you see the fib right here is at 50 to 61.8. So the corrective structure is down. We only want another leg lower. And of course, you have gotten a move here that suggests that you are going lower. All we need now is to wait for the correction and to get involved to the downside. Right now, you neither have a buy setup or a sell setup. You need to wait to see how the market develops its corrective structure back to the required fib level. Okay, if you take this fib right now, okay, you see that appropriately you want GBP USD to come down, to come up to around 1.1600. Okay, so let it pull back to this level, then we'll look for opportunity to the downside. See supply level right here. See the imbalance candle, see it in between, supply level, more downside. But wait to see this to happen. If you want to capitalize on intraday opportunity to take a buy, you can do that. How can you do that, guys? You need to wait to see a change of character. How do you do that? You see, this is doing this. You still see this has not been taken. This will be playing around here. We are going to see a move that is very strong along this line. Very, very strong move, guys. Even if it doesn't break this structure, it doesn't matter. We want to see a powerful move here. Just look for the corrective structure to the average point of 50 to 61.8 and take a buy to the upside. Where are you supposed to look forward to take your profit? You should take your profit right here, guys. No, this is the wrong one. If you are able to catch it right here, okay, stop, take profit here, stop loss right here. That is a setup. That is intraday setup. A trade you just take within within 2 or 3 hours, you are done. That's how it's done. But I don't take this type. I wait, let this one come, then I look for my setup to the downside long term. Okay, that is GBP USD. GBP JPY, guys. GBP JPY, guys. In the group, we predicted this, that this is going to happen. Okay, it was giving us, I think this trade gave us break even up to 2 or 3 times. And eventually, when the move came, I really missed it because I was focusing on some other pair. See? So right now, what we have to do is simple. What we are thinking is simple. Right here, you have this correction. The market has broken out of this range. And anytime you have a correction and you have a break out from a range and you have a massive fall down, most of the time, if you have this fall down, sell off that break this structure here, just look for correction and then downside. But if you have this consolidation and you have a break up to the downside, to the upside, you have a move impulse that does not pass this consolidation level. You have a corrective structure, you have it down, and then you can have a move to the upside. These are stuff that we handle in my mentorship program. Okay, my students will be laughing right now as I'm exposing them to you, but of course, this is just in the surface, it's not the detail. Okay, so what are we to expect right now? What we are thinking right now is that right here, for people who trade M formation, anytime you see such pattern, there must be a retracement to neckline. Okay, so what we're expecting right now is simple. At this point in time, if you also take a fib of this massive impulse to the upside, you will see that the market has come right at the fib level. So what I will be expecting is a correction of this move to the upside to at least this level for us to watch what will happen right here. Okay, but if you need to capitalize on that trade to the upside, you can do that. Okay, how can you achieve that? you're going to see a bunch of movement, consolidation, pull down, liquidity taking, but you see one powerful move to the upside, guys. Look for the corrective structure back to the average point and take your buy to this level. Okay, when you get to this level, make sure you take your profit in case this has to continue to the downside, you know, because we actually expect GBPUSD to make a pullback and after that continue bearish. Okay, so if we're expecting it to continue to be bearish, then there's also possibility that this one will also continue bearish after making this structure. So pay attention to this particular setup for intraday setup. This will be an intraday here, and this will be a swing here. This will be, we sell off for like a week or two, while this we just for 1 day or two. All right. So next one, guys, EURGBP. Okay, 4 hours EURGBP. Okay, actually I made a mistake in the setup for EURGBP because fundamentally there should be sell-off in all JPY pairs right now, because Japan is Japanese central bank is trying to see how it can, you know, it can sell off some of the USD in its reserve. Want to sell them off so that if they sell them off, then JPY, the yen will be very competitive in the market. The value can come up a little, and its strength in JPY means that all other pairs against it will become very weak. So, and in a couple of sessions to come, we are expecting sell-off in all the yen pairs: EUROJPY, GBPJPY, CHF-JPY, CAD JPY. We are expecting them to sell off. So right now they have made a appreciable impulse. We expected to make a correction before they sell, but I had thought that this correction was enough. Okay, and then here we continue to go down. That was why I called for sell of EUROJPY. But before the market close, we saw in New York session how it tested this support and then move up to the upside. So what should we expect, guys, for EURGBP? We need to check this impulse. You can see that this spot that I mark here is the 50 to 61.8. We expect the market to get to that zone. And after it gets to that zone, should we just press sell? No, we shouldn't just press sell. You can go back to 15 minutes time frame at that point in time and see change of character. You know, market is going up, it's going up, it's going up, it's in the zone. You see an impulse and then a correction. You take your trade here, stop loss here. So you can see how you do the setup right here. Okay, and then the market will sell to the downside. That is the EURGBP. Of course, when market open, it will probably come down a little to our entry. We can close the trade and wait for this proper setup. We wait for it to come to the premium price where we can take a sell to the downside. Okay, USD JPY. USD JPY is bullish in higher time frame, but it still needs to go through some corrections. Okay, and we are also expecting a rate decision from Federal Reserve. FOMC is coming by Wednesday this week at 7 p.m. my time. All right, so we're expecting a rate decision. And how it's going to happen is that if this bucket right here can push to this right field level, we need wait to see an impulse correction. We take a sell before Wednesday. If USDJPY can sell down to this level, it's possible that there will be a rate hike. Okay, so if there is another rate hike, then this will be a corrective structure for what? For USDJPY to make a move to the upside, just as we are expecting DXY to make a correction and push to the upside. So this corrective structure will be developed against what's going to happen in FOMC. All right, and it's possible that this will happen. But in most cases, this is how news behave. If the news FOMC rate decision is one that does not favor, the strength in USD, what will happen is that since there is a buy setup already, you just discover that the market will flash up, okay, flash up, flash down, and then take liquidity from demand and then begin to go up because you have a setup for buy already. So the market will have a way to balance both the reality on the chart and investor sentiment. Do you understand now? Investor sentiment is that they are expecting a rate hike, meaning that a rate hike will make USD to be strengthened, okay? And a strength in USD should make this USDJPY to go up, all right? But if the decision is taken and the rate is left unchanged or is dropped, for instance, no, so meaning that this chart should drop. But the setup, the technical setup says it should go up. So what will happen is that you see a flash up, a flash down, a flash up, a flash down. And at the end of the day, the true trend will now resume at demand to the upside. So you can now see how the market will balance both investor sentiment, the reality, put everything together and still do what the setup is meant to do. All right. So that's it on USDJPY. Before FOMC, we should have this drop to the downside. If there's no confirmation, you don't take it. Okay. The 4 hours time frame, USDJPY is still very bullish. Right now, it's still very bullish. You have this powerful buy to the upside last week. We need to see corrective structure back to its level. Then we'll buy again to the upside, especially if the rate is hike. If this correction comes to this level before rate hike, expect this to move. The other rate hike, I think we had the buy right here. Okay, this is it here. All right, because we had this break of internal structure after this ending diagonal. We have a break off, we have correction, we position ourselves for this move to the upside. Of course, we didn't even know there was going to be FOMC news release. We just placed our trade based on the setup, okay, and then it moved, okay, it moved. So that's what you should expect for USD CAD. A massive corrective structure we can take up to 2 days before coming down here before you buy. Good. All right, good. We are still having a sell bias on gold, but right now, gold must correct. It must correct back to this level. You can see the level I circled. Gold is expected to correct to that level. But then, if you want to take opportunity for a buy, you can see how I've arranged the setup. You can see how I've arranged it. Right now, the market came and consolidated right here. See the consolidation right here. It broke the internal structure. We want it to correct back to the average point where you take a buy opportunity to the upside. Where are you to stop? This to 50 to 61.8 of this move to the downside. That is your setup for gold, guys. The same thing is applicable for silver. You know, when gold was selling off, I was seeing a buying setup in silver, and in most time they move together. I was wondering what is going on, but our gold made a U-turn and it's now aligning itself with silver. But silver has a better setup than gold. So this week, I'm likely going to trade the buy in silver. You see this drop right here. See this drop. You see this corrective structure. It's coming here. Either to break this top or equal high, any of the two. So it's coming here. Since we know that gold is correcting upward, and then silver has a powerful, buy setup. So all you just need to do is to wait to see 4 hours get to this level, guys. Let your 4 hours come down to this level. Once it touches this level, either with wicks or with body, whatever, you just have to go back to smaller time frame. If you need to take this with intraday perspective, then let it develop, and let it change a character right inside the spot. Then the correction back to 50 to 61.8 is your trade. Where is your TP, guys? Your TP is previous high right here, previous high right here. Might break it, but conservatively previous high. That's your TP. Okay. Indices, the same thing is applicable to indices, guys. Right here, you have your corrective structure. Corrective structure is done. You need this move to break the low. Here, you have a similar corrective structure. Can you see? To the downside. Okay. Now, this downside is not done. Okay. It's not done yet. What you have seen is that the market has made the first impulse. Okay. Let me show you. Market has made the first impulse, that's corrected back to the right supply level. We made another impulse. What we want right now is correction to this level. Okay. When this market gets to this level, what we just need to do, go to 15 minutes and check your change of character. From there, where you can get your entry, because you'll be seeing trend developing as it's approaching that level. Look for break of internal structure, correction to 50 to 61.8, and this is your trade to the downside with your stop loss right here. Massive risk to reward, guys. I'm going to have some crazy setup as we enter the week. Okay, the same thing is applicable to US 100. That's NAS 100. Okay, for BTC guys, you are expecting the same correction to happen. Okay, you're expecting the same correction to happen. You have before we're thinking that in BTC, this is a leading structure. There's a structure we call a leading structure, or you can call it a leading diagonal. Okay, that's a motive wave that have a tendency of motion that behave like an impulse, but it's a slow one, and I will call it a diagonal. So after this, we're expecting a 3-wave corrective structure to the downside, which we have here. Okay, so now right here, you now have an impulse. Two things will happen, guys. Two things will happen. So it is either this impulse that we have here. Of course, you see that the market has moved down to 50 to 61.8 of that impulse. Okay, 50 to 61.8, right at this level, guys. Right at this level. Okay, this impulse here has been retraced to this level. But my concern right now is that the retracement is too impulsive. Okay, it's too impulsive. So, but what we are thinking right now is simple. Two things will happen. Is either this impulse will be corrected for more downside, okay, for more downside, or alternatively, this is just the 3-wave correction that corrected this leading diagonal. And if you take a fib of this leading diagonal that behaves like an impulse, you see that that leading diagonal has been corrected back to 78. And that is the right corrective structure fib level for a zigzag. You can see that this is zigzag corrective structure coming back to 78. And this is a break of internal structure. If this has come down correctively, I would have been very happy to take a buy to the upside, but it came down, impulsively. So now, in order not to miss the trade, if this was to be a continuation move to the upside, what we just need to do is simple. Let's go to 15 minutes time frame and see how there is break of internal structure. And you can see that right here, if we look at this is an ending structure that is developing right here. It's an ending structure. If you check the fib, you see that there is a divergence in the fib. Can you see a divergence? This one is going up. All right. See, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. And where here you have lower, low, lower, low, lower, low. So what we have to do, even this weekend, to buy BTC to the upside is to take a fib of this particular push to the upside, because of course you see that internal structure has been broken. Okay, see, internal structure has been broken. Let me take it step by step. You see consolidation right here. You see that this consolidation right here did not break to the upside to take liquidity. It rather broke to the downside. What is the implication of a fair value zone breaking to the downside in a major support? The implication of breaking to the downside is to catch liquidity at demand. These are some of the things we do in my mentorship program. Catch liquidity from demand. And anytime it happens like that, guys, and you have consolidation right here at the support, the market move down very fast and move up very fast. This is a catch of liquidity at demand, and then corrective structure of this one back to the right fib level is a confirmed buy setup to the upside. The same thing you have seen right here, consolidation at the support, breakdown below to catch liquidity and demand, immediately swerve to the upside. So what we have to do right now to get a trade setup is to take an impulse, to take a fib of this impulse and wait to see this market coming down to where? To 61.8. If BTC can come down to 61.8, we look for, since we're already in 15 minutes, we want to look for a break of structure right here, correction right here. This is a confirmed trade setup to the upside. Okay, that will be a confirmed buy setup to the upside. Stop loss below here, and then extend your TP. It is compulsory, theoretically, for you to hit this level. You must hit this level. So this is going to be a 1 to 6 risk to reward tentatively, and it can also make a bigger move to the upside. It can also make a bigger move to the upside right here. It can continue to go up. The reason why I'm projecting that this one can continue to go up and even break this top is if our first scenario is the one playing out. If the corrective structure for this leading diagonal is just this, then the correction is done here. The market has no business coming to the downside. It has to continue to go to the upside. So if we're able to catch a buy entry here, we monitor the scenario, and if it gets to 78, 68, 61.8, 78, and it does not come back, and it breaks this level and is going to the upside, forget the downside. The downside will not come again. Just move your trade to break even or small profit and allow BTC to keep rising. Let it keep rising. All right. So that is it, guys. That's what I have for you today. Do I still have anything to give you? I think, okay, let me give you a bonus setup in EURCAD and EURCHF. Okay, EURCAD and EURCHF. You can see right here, I want this EURCHF to buy to 0.97. Of course, you know that we're expecting a sell-off in a correction downward in DXY, and we're expecting a correction upward in euro dollar. But this push in EURCHF right here is very strong, and it has broken market structure. Internal structure is broken already in 4 hours time frame. Okay, you see liquidity is taken. You can see this wick come down very ferociously. It has taken liquidity from the other block here, and then you have equal high, higher low. Market structure is broken. So watch what will happen here, guys. That is your trade. This is a bonus 100 pips for you when market opens, guys. Go back to 15 minutes time frame. Okay, go back to 15 minutes time frame. This is what you are going to be watching on the chart. I'm going to see this market coming down slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly in 15 minutes time frame. And when it gets here, guys, it's going to break internal structure here. That will be a sign that the corrective structure that you are watching right here is over. Okay, when it breaks the internal structure, the correction is over, then let it retrace back to the average point. Take your trade with 10 to 15 pips stop loss and you're on your way straight to 0.9700. And this trade is going to be supported by the anticipated corrective structure to the upside of euro dollar. So that means that euro is going to be a bit strong Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be a bit strong. All right. And of course, you know that in EURGBP, we are expecting a correction downward. Okay. And when that correction downward is completed, this one will also be completed. So when EURGBP is going to the upside, we expect this move to happen. And that is the time euro will be very strong against the GBP. All right. So note that, note this setup. And then you can also pair it with the second one, which is EURCAD. Okay, EURCAD. 4 hours time frame. All right, so you are seeing, I taught you this consolidation structure. You see a consolidation, and right here at support, you are seeing a consolidation of equal low. All right, if the market does not break to the downside and is rather breaking to the upside, what is it telling you? It's telling you that I still want to go down, but I need to catch some order right here at supply for a move to the downside. Okay, so the same thing is happening here, right here. You see the corrective structure here. There was no break to the downside to take liquidity from demand. Rather, there is what? A break to the upside. Allow this market to break to 61.8 of this particular move. Let it break up right at this level. When the market get there, you don't just sell off immediately. You wait. Let there be initial impulse in this 4 hours time frame. Let there be impulse first. Okay, don't be in a hurry to jump in here. We have made that mistake in the past. We can't make that mistake again. Let there be impulse here. The market is coming back. When it comes back to 50 or 61.8, that is your trade, guys, to the downside. This will be your trade to the downside. Stop loss here. This one all the way to the low. All right, this is swing trade setup with 1 to 6 risk to reward. So that's how we'll be doing it this week, guys. So that's what I have for you guys. I'm going to make the video available YouTube, so you can go back and check and track the setup as they happen within the week and take advantage where you need to take advantage. Make sure that each setup you wait for the confirmation. You know, if you don't see confirmation, you don't see initial impulse and correction at the right fib level, please do not take the trade. Okay, there's no need to be in unnecessary drawdown. All right, and also make sure that as you are taking the different setup, you look at the news and check what the news is saying. All right, make sure that you are not caught up, you know, because the news can mess up a very good trade. I don't want it to happen to you. It has happened to me in the past when I was running with about 25,000 US dollar profit, and unknown to me, there was going to be a CPI report for USD, and most of my positions were on break even, and some of them were USD pairs. All at a sudden, this 25K profit disappear. I managed to go home with $1,500. $1,500 just because I was breaking even to like 5 pips, 3 pips. Those 3 pips, 5 pips were the one that gave me $1,500. You know, but as a professional trader, you won't cry because you know opportunities will still come. Trading is endless as far as international trade has no boundary, it has no end. All right. So guys, I see you in the community next week. I will make the video available on YouTube. Make sure you share video. If you have not subscribed, please. Our subscription is very low, is very poor. I want to encourage your friends to help us to subscribe and like and comment so that this video can be spread to as many that wish to know something about our trade setup. All right, thank you guys. Yeah. Bye-bye.